Well, here we are once again, YouTube. Some of you will be wondering why I've taken videos down. But first of all, I'm going to explain why I make these videos and put them out there. And it's to expose or to find things that don't quite make sense. And nothing has made sense with this COVID-19 so far as the government are concerned. I want to say that obviously the COVID-19 is definitely out there. There's no doubt about that. But there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. I'm going to go through a list of 20 things that I've listed on, what I think myself. After 12 days of lockdown and the experiences and phone calls I've made, people I spoke to, I learned a lot about other people's experiences with so-called COVID-19 as well. So, first of all, I want to explain, this is why I make these videos in the first place, and I've upset a couple of people in some of the videos I put up, and I want to apologise for that. But the point is, I've been trying to show people how we're getting mixed messages at the end of the day for our government, through what they're advising us, what's being said. And we're going to go through this list of 20 and just put it to you, what I think, and see what you think. And it'd be nice to get people to put down some of their experiences so far with this COVID-19. Right, so anyway, I'd like to say that it's dividing a lot of people, this COVID-19, on different people's opinions, people spying on each other, grassing each other up if a neighbour was out, things like that. This whole thing is kind of dividing our society up. Even, the lines are getting more harder on either side, from the far left to the far right, and everybody in the middle. It's ridiculous how we're all, as Britons, starting to stand up against each other, when really this is how it is. The test kits, for number one, they're only testing for COVID viruses as a whole, and this is what I think, because a lot of things have happened. People have been tested in families, in two families that I know of now, where one of their relatives has got it, and then they've all been tested a week later and nobody's got it. So as far as highly contagious, it's a bit of a joke, really. Or the test kits are dodgy themselves, because if it's supposed to be highly contagious, then why hasn't everybody got it? So the test kits can't, if COVID-19 is so dangerous, then you'd think everyone would get it, but they haven't. So these test kits, obviously, they must be just testing for covert viruses as a whole, and there's quite a few of them. I won't like to name how many there is. I'm sure someone out there can do the research and see how many there actually is. I believe that these test kits are just testing for all covert viruses. Now, another strange thing is, I phoned up the helpline and told them that I had no symptoms, but I was concerned about somebody that I knew who had it, who had been in contact with me, and could I get it tested? And they said, "Are you showing any symptoms?" I said no, but neither was the person who had it, who was found to have it. So I want testing anyway. And they basically said to me that unless I'm showing symptoms, they're not going to test me. But yet, someone that I know was tested and tested positive, someone who I was in contact with. So I'd have thought that they would have wanted to have traced the line back. I thought that's what they was doing, but they wasn't interested, only if I show symptoms. Now, that didn't make sense when I phoned up the helpline to find out whether I could get a test or not. So then I phoned up, a friend of mine got it organised to get a test kit sent to me. And this is day 10 by then, when I got the test kit. And when I opened it, it all just fell on the floor. So it was like, oh my God. But it was all in wrappers. So I was all prepared to do it. And this is like day 11, because you had to book it. So day 11, we booked it for him to pick it up on day 12, which was today. And, well, I'm not showing any COVID symptom signs at all, okay. So what's the point in taking the test in the first place if I'm not showing any symptoms of it, because that's what they advised. And on top of that, I'm not sure whether it's a private company or what, but there was like a load of paperwork in with it that had barcodes, and I'll show you anyway, that had barcodes and stuff. So we're basically getting barcoded up. We're having a DNA taken off us, and I think they're making a big database of everyone's DNA in the country. You get like these barcodes, and you get one that you've got to put on there, so you know it's all you, and all your DNA's in there, and a little test kit there, which I haven't unsealed, and more barcodes for stickers putting on. So like, you've got the National Health Service telling me one thing, not bother testing, but yet you can go online and order a test kit, private, you know. So is this a private company? Is this a private company that's doing this? Is this you know, all part of the plan for getting us all vaccinated and knowing exactly where we are, who we are, and all this kind of stuff? Who knows? But you know, obviously they're collecting a database on everybody. Right, that's that sorted out. Yeah, so like, depending on who you phone up and talk to, you get different stories. So again, mixed messages all around, like, And talking about mixed messages, let's talk about protests in London and Black Lives Matter. Well, all lives matter. Of course Black Lives Matter, but so do all the lives, and especially the elderly. Yeah, the elderly people that have come through, who have had, you know, people die in the First World War, relatives of theirs, and then they get brought up as children through the Second World War, see all that through, only to, you know, be told, oh, you need to sign your own death warrant for your, you know, because the hospitals won't revive the elderly now. And my auntie basically said that you know, the doctors had come in and basically almost forced her, and it's on video this, they almost forced her, you know, blagged her into signing that if she died of anything then she wouldn't be revived. Now, she's got cancer, which she was on treatment for, which she was recovering from before this lockdown, and then she broke her hip. So she was due an operation for her hip, and she hasn't. They've cancelled that, and it's, you know, July the 20th is when they give her a first date. Now they've moved it to, I think it was October. Sorry, September, and then October. So, you know, and the cancer treatment stopped, so that's creeping back, and she's not going to be seen until, you know, October. It's like, what is this? Is this a, you know? And then you think about the old age pensioners that survived having COVID-19, and they're getting sent back to the same places, only to recontract it and die of it. So to me, this is like a call of the elderly. This is a call of like the mentally ill, because there's a lot of people slashing up. There's stories I've heard about people slashing up. Terrible things going on in the mental health hospitals. There's one person that I know of that got arrested because she was putting stuff on Facebook. She got taken to the mental health hospital. After a couple of hours of assessment or whatever, they told her to take some tablets, and she wouldn't take them, so they pinned her down and injected her. Excuse me. Pinned her down and injected her, and then they kept her there for 14 days, obviously for quarantine. But she was mixed in with all the other patients, like all the other mental patients. And on top of that, the staff were locking themselves in the office and not coming out because they didn't want contaminating. So one of the patients had gone in the kitchen, smashed a cup, slashed herself up. They came out the office, they took a cup off her, they bandaged her up, and they went back in. They just left them to it, locked themselves back in, watching telly and occasionally looking out the window. And then she went in the kitchen and did it again. So they took all the cups away and then just went back in the office and carried on as normal. And, you know, nobody there to take care of the lady that was slashing up or talking to her about the mental health. They left all the other patients to help her. Crazy stuff there. So we've got the old age pensioners, and we've got like the mentally ill people. Let's move on to all the people that are due operations, like which are life-saving operations, like that have been put back. So now they're putting the elderly people to the back of the list, who were at the front of the list, and moving the people who are at the bottom of the list up to the top of the list, the younger people. So they are culling the elderly. They're getting them to sign the death warrants. Why aren't we screaming and bawling about that? Like I say, black lives do matter. But what about these people who have brought our generation forward, and yet we're getting them to sign their own death warrants in beds, in hospitals, sending them back to the death camps of old people's homes? It's absolutely crazy. You know, there isn't staff there to feed the people, have the time to talk to people with dementia and keep them okay about it all. There's nothing going on. Our government could have made a policy where they kept clean hospitals clean, and they obviously had hospitals for the COVID-19 patients, like, or pop-up tents like they did in China and stuff. But now they want to save money and put all the hospitals at risk. That's what they've done. Anyway, another thing about mixed messages is the fact that protesters have been in London protesting and trying to keep the distance, and yet I've seen on the news and everywhere the police kettling people in, riding horses into crowds, you know, forcing people together. And I've seen police without even wearing masks that was stood on the front line, you know. So, you know, if our frontline people like the police have been taken care of, well, why haven't they been provided with masks? You know, even though they're doing a pretty bad job of policing us. They're not being very fair, they're not being very humane when they're kettling people for like 6-8 hours at a time without being able to go to the toilet, things like that. So they're telling us not to protest, but yet they're kettling everybody in. Yeah, right. Well, I think our government should be held accountable for the amount of deaths that they've caused through their policies, and they should be accountable like how they've committed a war crime against us. Yeah, there's things like we're all clapping outside for the NHS, which is all very good. You know, totally agree with it. They are doing a bloody good job. I've got family who's on the front line myself, but I'm absolutely disgusted at the fact that you know, a relative of mine had a test done because she developed a cough. She was sent home, but they didn't test the rest of the family. They didn't test the grandkids. You know, she pointed out to me that you know, it would be pointless testing everybody, because every time she went into work, you know, and had a cough or whatever, it'd be pointless in testing them every single week, which is, you know, very honourable of her to do that, you know. But anyway, that's a lot of the NHS staff have told me. I talk to all of you out there who are in the front line, but I think you're being told yourselves the wrong things. Like, you know, there was a case that I know where, you know, I asked my daughter, would people on dialysis probably pass away if they had it? And she said yes, they would. They wouldn't stand much of a chance. Well, I know somebody who's been on dialysis and they've had it and it's gone and they're absolutely fine. So again, more mixed messages. It's driving people mad. All of this is kind of winding people up and turning each other against each other. Neighbours reporting neighbours. Don't worry people, it's OCPD that I've got right now because I smoke. I'm clear. It's 12 days. I've been to the doctors today and I'm all clear, and everybody else that I know that's been in contact with it, they're all clear as well. Anyway, I think I've kind of covered it all. What I want to say. Getting people that signed the death warrants is like, what the hell? What are they doing? People are dying because, you know, they can't get their operations. Mad, isn't it? Anyway, YouTube, day 13 tomorrow. I'll report back and see how I'm doing. Keep your chins up. Oh, by the way, I bought one of these. I bought one of these because I think it's time people start standing outside their own council buildings and holding them accountable for making these policies in their own people's homes around your own towns and cities. Yeah. I think people should go to the Houses of Parliament and shout like mad about what they're doing. Keep your distance, keep masked up, stay safe. Over and out, YouTube.